Most people don't feel super broke, but they don't feel free either. They make decent money, they have a good job, maybe a house, maybe a newish car, and it looks successful from the outside. And yet, month to month, nothing really changes. Every year, their income goes up a little, promotions happen, even raises happen, but their lifestyle expands at this exact same speed. So, financially, they just stay in the same place. This is the middle trap. It's not poverty, it's not wealth, it's just a sort of permanent plateau. And what makes it dangerous is that it feels normal because you're busy being responsible and doing what everyone told you to do. But if you zoom out, 5 years pass, then 10, and your net worth hasn't really meaningfully changed. You're running hard, but on a treadmill. The problem isn't effort, it's direction. And until you understand what's actually keeping people stuck here, you'll keep mistaking motion for progress. Let's break down why this happens and ways to change it. As always, this is not advice, just share an insight so you can make your own decisions. Here's the big reason why people stay in the middle. Every time income rises, expenses quietly rise faster. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment. You get a promotion, you upgrade your car. You make more, you justify nicer vacations, better restaurants, more subscriptions. I'm guilty of this myself, and we all do it to a degree. None of it feels reckless, it feels deserved. But this is lifestyle inflation, and it's subtle. You don't notice it month to month, but year to year, it adds up and erases progress. If your income goes up 10%, but your spending goes up 12%, you're actually moving backwards. The crazy thing is this: higher income should create margin, but instead it creates pressure. Bigger payments, bigger expectations, bigger commitments. So instead of building assets, you build overhead. And overhead is what locks you in. Because once your lifestyle expands, it's emotionally painful to shrink it. So you protect that lifestyle and sacrifice long term freedom. That's how the middle quietly tightens its grip. The second trap is debt, not emergency debt or survival debt, lifestyle debt, car loans, credit cards, furniture payments, 0% financing that keeps you comfortable but committed. Debt feels manageable when payments are small, but debt isn't about the monthly payment, it's about the obligation. Every debt payment reduces flexibility, it reduces risk tolerance and opportunity. You can't leave a job you hate if you're chained to a ton of payments. You can't take a calculated risk if your margin is super thin. And interest compounds against you, slowly at first, then aggressively. While investors earn compounding returns, people in debt pay compounding costs. And most middle income households are quietly bleeding thousands per year in interest. That money could have built assets. Instead, it services things you did or bought in the past. Debt doesn't always look dramatic, but it's heavy, and it keeps people walking slower than they think. Most people are paid for time, hourly, salary, contract. No matter how skilled you are, there is a ceiling because time is capped at 24 hours. So income growth becomes incremental, a raise here, a bonus there, but you're still trading time. And that model is inherently limited. So you can't scale yourself infinitely. Even higher earners can remain stuck because if they stop working, the income stops. There's no leverage or ownership, no system producing income independently. The middle class is optimized for employment, but wealth is built through leverage, assets, equity, ownership, systems. When your income depends entirely on your presence, your upside is limited and your stress is tied to your calendar. Until income becomes partially detached from time, escape is nearly impossible. Here's the uncomfortable truth: most people own very little that produces income. They own liabilities disguised as assets, a house with a mortgage that can have all kinds of things break and repairs, a car that depreciates. Basically, stuff that looks valuable but doesn't generate cash flow and ends up costing you money to maintain. Assets do one thing: they pay you. Businesses, investments, equity, rental properties, index funds, intellectual property. If your paycheck is your only income source, You're only one disruption away from financial strain. The wealthy focus on accumulation of productive assets. The middle focus on consumption that signals success. And because asset building feels slow early on, people abandon it. But assets compound quietly, and over a long period of time, they become the escape hatch. Without ownership, income alone rarely builds freedom. Middle income earners are often highly risk aware, which sounds responsible, but excessive risk avoidance leads to stagnation. They can avoid investing because markets fluctuate all the time. They can avoid side income because it's uncertain and can take a long time to build. They avoid business because it might fail. So they stay safe, but safe, unfortunately, rarely creates upside. Inflation quietly erodes savings. Conservative choices protect comfort, not growth. Now, this doesn't mean reckless risk, it means calculated risk. That could look like skill development or investing consistently, taking opportunities with asymmetric upside. Playing defense forever guarantees one thing: you won't lose big, but also you won't win big. And escaping the middle requires some degree of intelligent risk, not gambling. Instead, strategic exposure in an educated way is needed for growth. Most people have a job strategy, but few have an income strategy. A job strategy says get credentials, apply broadly, get promoted. An income strategy asks, how do I increase my earnings capacity beyond one employer? How do I develop rare skills? How do I create leverage? How do I build additional streams of income? One is linear, the other is exponential and has huge upside. When all income flows from one source, your bargaining power is limited. When you control multiple streams or specialized skills, leverage increases. The middle is so crowded because most people optimize for stability, but escaping requires thinking like an owner, not just an employee. And that shift is uncomfortable, but necessary to be able to grow. Another reason people stay stuck: they start too late. In your 20s, retirement feels distant. Investing feels boring. Budgeting feels restrictive. So you delay. But time is the most powerful force in wealth building. Compound growth is slow in the beginning, almost invisible, then suddenly powerful. If you wait until your 40s to get serious, you've lost 2 decades of compounding. And catching up requires extreme effort. Most people wake up financially when pressure hits: college bills, retirement anxiety, job instability, but by then, time may not be as forgiving. It's great you're listening to this and thinking about it, as the earlier you understand money mechanics, the less dramatic and effort required later. Delay is expensive, even when it feels harmless. Escaping the middle isn't about earning a massive salary overnight. It's about three aligned moves: increasing income strategically, control lifestyle expansion, and build productive assets and skills consistently. Income gives you fuel. Controlled spending preserves margin. Assets create leverage. That combination compounds. You don't need to be extreme, you need to be intentional. What works for many to help them grow is to focus on skill stacking, negotiate income, invest automatically, avoid unnecessary debt, creating more margin between income and expenses, and taking calculated risk. And most importantly, measure net worth over time, not lifestyle, because the middle class trap thrives on appearances. Escape is built on ownership. The people who break out aren't lucky. They think differently about money mechanics, and they act earlier than most. That's the difference. Please like and subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you on the next one.